Hey everybody, welcome to Muni Misfits in the Morning. My name is Chris Larson, head golf professional at Osgood. I'm in the middle of two other misfits here. I don't know how I drew the short straw here. On my left here, I got Matt Cook, head golf professional at Rose Creek and Praywood. And on my right, I've got Greg McCullough, head golf professional at Edgewood and at El Zagle. How did we end up here, guys?
Holy cow. Just noticing?
What's that?
These two could be sisters.
Yeah, our production staff has changed
It's
a
double.
little bit.
We needed more peeps.
So, we are coming to you live from the Osgood Golf Shop, and it was dark this morning getting here.
Hey, Chris, it's dark every morning.
I know, but it was dark. It was dark. So, the seasons are changing, and it's fall golf is on. So, if you're just tuning in, this is the 7:00 show, and every week now we've been doing a live show from various facilities around the Fargo Golf neighborhood. And today,
it feels nice.
Totally. Go ahead and check out us on Facebook, YouTube, and also fargogolf.net. Fall golf passes are on sale. You guys got some action at your facilities?
Yeah, it's been very good.
All right, cool.
Thank you, everybody, for that.
Absolutely. And we are just ripping through tee sheets too. So what's the creek like these days?
Things have been busy. It truly is kind of the transition right now, though. We talked last week, even it's fall, or fall's approaching anyway. I think it's fall. Is it fall yet?
It's totally fall.
It's fall.
I'm going to fall over.
You know it's fall because like guys like Greg will start up their bowling season already. Then it's truly fall. And then NFL has already started now.
First game
their
last
games
night.
already.
Who played last night? Who won last night?
Buffalo put a beat down on the LA Rams.
Really?
A beat down.
I fell asleep.
And so it's feeling fallish.
Yeah.
The temperatures are starting to drop a little bit today, but still it looks like it's going to be quite pleasant over the 7-10 day stretch, I think. 70s, maybe upper 60s. That's pretty good though.
So the smoke in the air, we were talking about this too. The smoke in the air it is definitely, do you feel like it cooled stuff off yesterday? And then on top of that, we definitely got darker quicker as we're trying to close up Men's Day, our back nine men's league. Yesterday we had guys finishing in like pitch black. So we'll talk about men's league with Osgood a little bit later, and how we're kind of getting through this trail end of the season here. But man, we're having to make some adjustments right now. So all right. Well, hey, do you guys got anything going on at your facilities right now? Or is it just a standard operating procedure? I feel weird because I'm like going like this here. I don't know who. Normally I have you guys like somewhere over here. This is
kind of look like you're watching a nice tennis match.
Totally. You guys want to just.
Here's coming back to you, Greg. Go ahead.
Yeah, take it away.
You know, we just had our men's club last night. We still shoved out 120 players in a very condensed period of time.
It's a very nice way to put it. You shoved them out there.
We kind of
so
did.
Nice
I
out
feel like it is.
Creek.
It's just like, and so, yeah, as we keep losing daylight, it gets harder and harder. We got a lot of individuals who want to play. Ladies still been going active. We have nothing going on this weekend except for just general play today through Sunday. Next week, we do have an event on Monday and on Wednesday next week. September is kind of a little bit busier. We've been kind of, I would say, a little bit soft as far as our corporate schedule overall this summer, which we've kind of intended to do so. It's a little bit busier this September. It doesn't seem to taper off a whole lot yet. There's a lot of action as far as people wanting to play golf. And so I think that's going to continue to go as long as the weather cooperates.
Now, have you been staying busy with lessons?
You know what? It's amazing. This week, it probably tapered off as far as the phone calls a little bit. But before that, we were still getting a lot of phone calls of people wanting to get out and work on their games. And
how about you and Tom? You guys been staying busy out there?
Tom is like rocking it. He's like, his head's spinning around and around and around. So, yeah, it's been really, I mean, you know, when the weather stays like it has been, we've been 80 to 85 and pretty sunny. And maybe one windy day. Yesterday got a little windy towards the end of the day. But the weather's been good, and this time of year, people are they're kind of understanding maybe what's going to come next. So they're on a nice day, you know, the phone will start ringing quite a bit.
So Now this was yesterday. Now we got a little bit of precipitation last night, but up until then, we actually had 0 inches recorded in September.
We're super dry. You know,
Yeah.
I being along the river with Edgewood and Elzago, I can see the river is way down again. So
Hey, that's good.
if you look at our August precip, every Friday it rained.
Whoa.
So this
Fun fact.
morning when some of us were up at 3:00 in the morning, it was a Friday morning and it was raining again. We didn't get very much, but at least we have a little bit of rain, and we could use a little.
Yeah.
We could use a little drink of water.
We could. Now we just got done aerifying a couple of days ago. We did tea aerification on Tuesday, and then we did greens aerification on Wednesday. But they're healing up really nice, and with the weather that we've had, now it's kind of a little mild. We got a little shot of rain. I mean, I think we hit the perfect window for aerification. Everyone just kind of dreads that phone call when they call, hey, can I get a tea time? Oh, and by the way, we have to aerify, and it's a great thing. Greens are going to be better for it, but Ryan and his staff, man, they did a great job. So we're hoping all those heal up pretty quick here, and going into next week, we're going to have great conditions once again. So
Do you guys pull cores when you aerify as far as in the greens?
We didn't pull cores this time. We did a solid tine, and it wasn't the mini tine, that little needle. Yeah. It was a full solid tine. They just didn't pull cores. So gotcha. You could definitely see some disruption in the green complexes, but after they put sand down, it looks pretty good. And then, honestly, we didn't hear, normally after you punch, you hear some feedback.
I think with the
constructive or otherwise.
Yeah. I think with the practices now, when they used to pull cores, and people would, a lot of times superintendents, they would take a pretty good core. I mean, they might, I don't know if it's like 1/2 inch or 3/4. I mean, some of them look like they're almost like a cup.
Yeah.
Like a regular cup. And so it would take, there'd be some scarring also with that from pulling cores. And so you'd leave a pretty big void there, and then you'd have to try to fill that with sand and make sure that there's enough sand. And so it took a long time, it seemed like. It would be a good week to 10 days at a minimum before things kind of started to even somewhat get back to what we thought was normal. Now it seems like with them kind of using more of a solid tine, even a smaller, and I think they're finding, that they're getting as much, if even greater benefit by doing it this way. So these practices have changed over time. So now within a few days, really, I think you're getting pretty good green conditions. And so, some people may kind of have that in their back of that memory as far as, aerifying. Mm-hmm. But I think as we continue to move down this road, I don't think it'll be something that will be quite as bright.
For sure. Yeah. As far as pulling cores, I can't even remember, the last time that I've seen, any golf courses really pull substantial cores. Yeah. It's been a lot of the solid tine and the mini tine type stuff. So do you guys have anything on the schedule for your facilities as far as aerification?
We've already completed that as far as their greens. I don't know if they're planning to do anything as far as with tees at all this fall, but
okay.
He's gonna do some small venting with little holes and top dress, which he's kind of done. He's probably done that 4 or 5 times this year already. So we'll have to kind of wait and see what happens, but nothing where we're gonna get the big holes where we're blowing everything up. Yep.
Okay. Cool. Well, and again, this is a good pitch too. FargoGolf.net. Go out. There's still plenty of time to play golf on all 5 of these awesome golf courses right now. Golf courses are in primo shape right now too. So go ahead and check out the information on the fall passes. And then if you got your favorite golf course and you want to book a tee time, go ahead, FargoGolf.net, and get that all squared up. So guys, what do we got shaking in golf right now? What's going on in golf?
We had a snub this week.
I know. Yeah.
Kind of as a local person, we want Tom Hoagie had such a great year. We wanted him to make the President's Cup. Probably an opportunity for him if he was going to make one to make it this year. And I understand it. He was the captain's picks, everybody above him was picked, and then it was really down to probably him and a couple other players, and Davis Love chose to take Kevin Kisner. Again, Tom had a much better year, but Kisner, I guess, has a better experience, although he's only 2-0-2 in a President's Cup. So he doesn't have a lot of experience there. So we were hoping for that. And he's now first alternate. I don't know how that works. I don't know how you are first alternate, but
in case someone gets COVID.
Okay. So we were hoping for that. Tom, sorry you didn't make it next time. It's kind of like the All-Star game or the All-Pro. The year you should deserve to make it, sometimes it happens the year after that. Golf is a little harder because it's on a point base.
And Amy kind of had that same thing happen back in.
Well, we can talk about Amy too. She's golf is hard, and especially at that level. And she has, I think, only 4 tournaments left to jump from 115 to 100. And I looked at the points yesterday. That's kind of a top 10 finish. And with 4 more events, she's probably going to have that a couple times.
Wow.
She's outside looking in this week right now for even making the cut. So, come on, Amy, catch lightning in a bottle here. We need to kind of get up there and get in there. I believe it's a top 100 that keep their card. And
Sure.
She's 115 or 117 and probably going to drop this week unless she has a really good day today.
I was kind of looking for some stuff, an interview or something on Tom. And I did find one. It was another podcast, and it was really kind of nice. He really took the high road on that, saying, hey, you know what? Obviously, I'm disappointed. I thought I had a pretty good season. I get the selection as far as Kisner. He goes, you know what? I had opportunities to work my way in and didn't quite get there. I'm going to use this as motivation. I'm going to come back next year. And that's the way I guess you really got to do it. I mean, he really has made some nice strides the last couple of years, and especially this year. And I don't see why that couldn't continue. And so hopefully he will continue to use that as not that he needed motivation, but some additional motivation to say, I'm going to see if I can make a couple.
Golf always has been, we always hear and again, it's hard. We always hear guys, outside guys, not complain, but golf's hard to get into.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a really small number. So when you get, guys are trying to get in there, and really golf has always been, you got to play better. I mean, if you play better, things happen.
It's pretty democratic too, right?
It kind of is, right? And I kind of wonder how good a partner Tom would have been in foursomes, right? As an alternate shot when he's hitting irons.
Yeah.
I mean, his iron play is like top 10 in the PGA Tour. So, as a local person and knowing Tom, obviously we were cheering for that. But hopefully, like you said, Cookie, he's gonna make it. That's another chip on Tom's shoulder that he's gonna go and do and make it next time.
And so, and Kisner, 38, he's going to be the oldest guy on the team. He's been snubbed. I shouldn't say snubbed, but he's definitely had his share of outside looking in, and people have always been asking questions as to why didn't Kis make the Ryder Cup team, being that he's got such a great match play record and he's such a great putter, and he's just a pressure player. And so, I'm sure between that had a lot to do with that captain's pick decision. And yeah, I mean, Tom taking it just like an absolute champ, and he will. I fully feel that Tom is going to be sticking around for a while and have his day in the sun. But when he's so close this year, and it feels like, man, it would have been a really fun thing to see him playing in the Pres Cup. So anyways, thinking about you, Tom, and hopefully we go get him next year. So, but
I'm sure he's up watching right now.
He totally is.
He's one of our one viewers that we have.
We got to send Tom some Muni Misfits gear, by the way. We got to see if we can get some of that.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So where are we at on, I know at one point, Laura, we had like mugs made. Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah, Pace said that he made mugs.
Well, I think he promised he was going to make mugs. I don't know if he ever made mugs.
Hey, Pace.
We might as well throw Pace under the bus.
Let's throw Pace under the bus. Hey, Pace, where are our mugs? Where's our promo gear, Pace?
So those may have been some decorated styrofoam cups. It said Muni Misfits on it. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Mugs, styrofoam cups.
So what else do we got going on in golf right now?
Well, speaking of just the President's Cup, you saw the announcements by the international team how many of those people did you recognize? Because I did not
I
recognize a
didn't.
lot of them.
I was thinking the same thing when I saw that list. I'm like, oh, whoa.
I'm not saying it could not be competitive still, but it's like, wow, that
Yeah. I thought the
that's kind
same
of a
thing.
list of who's not.
Well, and again, I'm not going down. I'm not
You
starting
are,
the
though. You already
live
have-
thing.
you
I'm
already
not
have-
starting
well,
the
you just
live
did, though.
conversation.
You just did.
But when you start looking at the live tour right now and you go, man, those guys that are playing there that aren't playing in the Pres Cup, I mean, it's like, I don't know. But I agree. When I look at that roster for the international team, I'm going, this.
Well, there's
Do you think there's going to be any competition? I hope there is. I really do. I hope there is. I hope there's good TV.
it very well could be. I don't know. Just on paper, it doesn't look very good.
But it really hasn't been a close
There hasn't.
competition. You know, people say it's not the Ryder Cup, right? And it's not. But one of the reasons it's not the Ryder Cup is to have that kind of action and that friction and that excitement. You got to have both teams being able to win.
Right.
And right now, the underdogs haven't been able to really get enough going to have a team.
Yeah, it's going to take an international squad to win once or twice before that's going to start really spark
I agree.
a lot of fanfare. So where are they playing?
They're in I think Charlotte, North Carolina, aren't they?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
At
what's
Quail Hollow.
Quail Hollow, yep.
Yeah.
Which will be, that's a really good golf
Yeah.
course. And now they're going to have it at good courses, but should be good.
U.S. team is 11-1-1 overall. So, yeah. I also did see, too, as far as the BMW, we took a little pause at the BMW due to Queen Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So
yeah, I think there was like 12 players that didn't finish. I think they're taking the day off today and then decide if they are going to even resume play.
Okay.
And there was a little bit of fireworks going on this week too. I think a lot of people firing shots across the way between the live guys and the tour guys once again.
Are you speaking of the video on the putting green of Billy Horschel and Ian Poulter? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, that was one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was there anything else?
I think there's just been some other, as far as comments, talking about not just live guys, but just individuals jumping, primarily I think live guys, jumping in the DP, guys that have not been supporting the European, the former European tour all over these years, now jumping on in. The only reason why they're jumping on in is to get world ranking points, to hope to play their way into major, if they can get into a major. It's just a lot of those barbs kind of flying back and forth. I think in some ways, maybe that's hypocritical by some of the individuals. I think everybody's playing in those events for world ranking points, but I think they're looking at saying, yeah, these guys haven't been supported before. Now they're jumping in, taking money from someone on else. And
I did see the exchange between Ian Poulter and Billy Horschel. Of course, there's no audio, so you can't really tell what they're saying. And I guess to me, I think people might be blowing that one out of proportion just because everything Billy Horschel does is animated, right? He's always big, he could be describing the sandwich he ate that day and he's going to be super animated. But I think they pulled that and they said, look at these two guys going at it on the putting green. But there's no audio, there's no context to it. So we don't know exactly what they were talking about, but we are left to kind of interpret that as, right? Oh my gosh. Right. So, there is probably quite a bit of drama still going on behind the scenes, though, with the guys in the locker room talking again, about why are you here?
I don't think they're going to play.
No,
I don't think they're going to play. I mean, they're pretty. Everybody was waiting for, and this is not golf. This is more world soccer related. Everybody was wondering what the Premier League would do this weekend, and they've called off all their games. So I think that kind of sets a little precedent of, I think they're just going to back off and do their 10 days of mourning and get through the Queen's funeral and all that stuff before they kind of kick back in again.
It's being played in London.
Right. So right.
Yeah.
Tradition.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. You said it. So
70 some years ruling your country. That's incredible. That's a long time.
That's like almost as long as Mac at
I
Edgewood.
knew that was
You just teed it up though. Like I
King
was
Mac.
waiting who was gonna take that.
I love how you
Mac.
two kind of have this little secret production meeting that I'm not involved in. And just kind of throw grenades at me and hope something happens. It is true though, and I'm not saying it's not true. I feel like I'm 100. I look like I'm 100.
Come on now. Oh my God.
Oh.
I normally don't take that. I don't. I'm normally Switzerland here. I'm in
Oh,
the
wow.
middle, right?
Good one.
But then as
That's
soon
funny.
as that one
Here.
came up, I was like, I gotta take it. I gotta take
Of
it.
course you are. It's been my theme this morning.
Oh man.
All right. Well, what else we got happening? Anything else? Anything we got on?
The local scene, the Bison just hosted their invitational. I think they had UND and
St. Thomas.
St. Thomas
Yep.
in, and girls and boys played really, really well.
Men and women, Matt.
Men and women, yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry. And I think the girls. I heard Chris Croce this, and I don't know if this is fact, but I thought he said this could have been the second lowest team score in the NDSU women's history. I think they were like 601.
I actually went out and watched the second day on Wednesday afternoon, and I hadn't seen, really that much college action, both the men and the women. And I know the women NDSU both they shot under par on the front nine.
Wow.
The back nine was a little bit different, but both times it was kind of interesting to see. It was at Oxbow Country Club, and the first day was dead calm, I guess. Second day was really for out there dead calm. It really wasn't. I mean, it was a little bit windy, and that's the first time I'd watched that many different college players in that kind of setting. And so it was really cool to see where they hit it, how they hit it, we hear the bomb and gouge, right? Everything is just pounded. And it is interesting talking to coaches. Obviously, I was out there to watch my alma mater a little bit talk to Todd Schaefer, who I played college golf with. And one of the things that we were talking about is how, in reality, college players are just not ready for any kind of strategy whatsoever. I mean, they just bomb it and go get it. And there are places out there. And I'm going to use the 18th hole as an example because I know the day before, one of the schools was plus 15 on that hole. I mean, that's hard to do with 4 or 5 guys to be that, and again, it was just purely, and I know that they talked about the next day, here's what we're going to do, guys. You're going to hit it to here. Whatever number you want left into the green, that's what you're going to get. You're not going to just flail at it. Right. And the next day they play that hole 2 under par.
So
on a more difficult conditions.
Right? So there's just watching the kids play. There is some strategy for sure, but there tends to be a 100% how can I hit it as far as I can versus, and get it in a bad spot. Obviously, if you hit a perfect shot, you're going to get it in a good spot. But if you don't hit the most perfect shot, what are you leaving yourself with? And I watched on a couple holes where guys, really good players, put themselves in spots that they shouldn't put themselves in, and made it really hard for them to do it. The other part that I wanted to see is what kind of body reaction do the kids have, because they are kids, right? And what are their expectations?
Men and women, Greg.
What are their expectations for shots? And I watched the back nine of the men play, and I was surprised at how disappointed they were in basically, I think, every swing they made.
Really?
Yeah. Now their confidence level is high. I mean, that outward, their confidence level seemed high, but their reactions after they hit a shot, you could tell that the disappointment was there. And I don't really know if I saw the other way at all. And some of them, I mean, there was 2 or 3 holes in a row where the guys would hit it in the fairway and they'd hit it on, and I'm going to say they hit it anywhere from 10 to 30 feet or 6 to 30 feet. And there was disappointment in a couple of those shots. 30 feet is really pretty good. So that part surprised me a little.
So coming in very, very confident, feeling like the game should be.
Well, I think their
precision.
Expectations are, and we as golfers, our expectations are, in reality, none of us are very good. And you have to take that, into account a little bit. Even the really good players like that, you're not going to hit it stiff every single shot. It's not going to happen. I mean, you're just not going to do it. Nobody does that.
But, contrasting it, when you see that on tour, I mean, a lot of those guys, their reactions to a lot of their shots, and you start looking at, I mean, the proximity to the hole is pretty incredible. And a key example would be like Jordan Spieth, right? He hits some, and he does hit some off the planet, right? But he hits some shots that he's outwardly complaining quite a bit on camera, and they're really not that bad of shots, So is that a characteristic that these players have? Is that there's just uber confidence, just dripping with confidence?
Could be.
And is that something that they have that all of us don't have? Is that why we're sitting on the couch right now and we're not in the discussion about the President's Cup? Is that something that they have, right?
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, along with that, they gave themselves opportunities really 95% of the time, which I thought was really good. And again, they hit it so far, which was another aspect of what I watched. But I mean, if you just go and again, they're outwardly with a wedge or 7, 8, 9 iron. I mean, they're hitting it again anywhere from 8 to 25 feet, and their immediate one was almost always disappointing.
Well,
which surprised me a little bit, because you're giving yourself 15, 16 opportunities there. I mean, you got to, right? The next one has to be, right? I mean, obviously you want kick-ins, and obviously you want to be like Nate DeZiel and shoot 64 the first day, but that's not going to happen every day.
So I'm looking at these team scores. I mean, Oxbow, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Oxbow is a test, and it wasn't like one day was nice.
It's not for them. It's not a test for them.
That's
for NDSU's team. They have a exceptionally good team.
So their team score finished. Let's see, the second day finished 285. They were the win matched a 31 stroke victory over 3 rounds last season at the Stampede at the Creek. So they finished day 2 minus 19.
Yeah,
minus 19 as a team. That's absolutely incredible, especially at that golf course with any type of wind or anything going on.
And it was easier days, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But still, to shoot 19 under par, and we've played the golf. I've only played the golf course once. Been out there a couple times, and I followed them around where they hit it, and really, they make it look like the golf course is very easy.
And it was, Coach was telling me, I think the men were playing it like 7,000 plus, I believe.
Yeah, they weren't all the way back on every hole.
No, but I think you can stretch that back.
Yeah. They had plenty of room to go farther.
Right.
They did.
Yeah.
They had plenty of room to go farther.
So, I mean, and 7,000 I know is probably not long in their opinion. I mean, you think of Rose Creek 6,600. We don't have many people playing our back tees. So it's.
They made 7,000 yards look like 6,200.
Wow.
Really?
I mean, that's strength and conditioning, right? Those guys are just hitting it deep. So Ian Simonich, Nate DeZiel, way to go, boys. 138 tied for medalist honors. We'll get you a mug when we get some promo gear.
Or a styrofoam cup.
Well, big styrofoam
Yeah,
cup.
there you go. Big
Gold medalist.
Hey, big gulps for you guys, right? So that's cool to see.
Yeah.
That the NDSU boys are just they got that train rolling, man. That's a really cool squad to watch play golf.
And they've got a really good schedule. So I mean, their schedule is really good. They're gonna get into some pretty good events this fall. So again, right, we talk about when do we want to have our high school, college seasons?
Yeah.
Right. I think the fall makes sense. Not that it's always logistically possible, but you're going to get better scores for sure.
By the way, just a little tease here. We are working at trying to get into the new short game facility. We got, Coach K was kind enough to say, hey, let's get you guys up there. So we're, for those 5 people that are maybe tuning in right now, we're going to try and get up to the new training facility.
We have 5. That's a record.
So speaking of, if you haven't done so already, please hit subscribe to the Muni Misfits. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, And you can also check out all of the fun golf that's happening at all 5 golf courses in the Fargo area at fargogolf.net. Get your fall passes, play some golf, talk to us. So anyways, we got anything else cooking, boys? Nothing? Silence.
You tell us. You two had the production meeting earlier. What do you got going?
We got nothing.
You know,
So
our guest from a couple of weeks ago, Lindsay Astrup, continues to lead as far as the stroke average, as far as in the EDC right now. She's still playing well. She's leading, actually tied with Rose Solberg from Davies at 78. So she's been playing quite well. They've already got, I think, 6 events in already this year. So the high school girls season is kind of moving along. I'm sure we'll
79
move
at
into
Kings Walk.
EDC by the end of the month here, and then into state in probably early October. So
Red River girls are making a little run though.
They are.
they are.
Yep.
They've won back to back, I think.
So there's right now who's ranked above who, right? Is Davey still have the
Davey still got as far as stroke average wise
Yep.
goes, but yeah, Red River is right there. I mean, you've got Davies, Red River, Wahpeton, Cheyenne, Shanley, all kind of up towards the top right now, and so
It's going to be a race for the lead teams. I think Davies and Red River are kind of seem to have been, and then it's going to be like getting into state at that EDC.
Yep.
That 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it's going to come down to the end.
It is, because even Wahpeton's been putting in.
Yep.
Wahpeton's been up in
There's
that
kind
4.
of been there's been kind of a rotation there as to where they are, and I think EDC is at Wahpeton too. So
Ooh,
we'll see.
home cooking.
It's going to come fast.
Yeah.
They don't.
As soon as it came, it's coming to a close pretty quick too. So
And they've had great weather.
they have fall golf.
All golf.
What do you know? So, all right. Well, I think you guys got anything else or? Okay. That being said, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We look forward to a great show next week. Where are we going to be at? You guys have any ideas?
we're hoping that maybe we can line up Matt Johnson, NDSU women's golf coach, and maybe be over at that at their short game center, their indoor facility. So hopefully we can get that in. Might need to tape that one, but we'll still be on 7 a.m. next Friday.
Cool.
So yeah,
If you want to be on our show or you want us to interview somebody,
That's dangerous.
please. Well, we got to do something. We got to get a little spice going on here, right? Got a little, right? Please reach out to any of us misfits.
Give us a call. Set up a tea time. Get on the show. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. This is Muni Misfits in the morning, and we will see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.